Hi everyone, welcome to HalfPsyched Teachers. Today is another Wellbeing Wednesday, and I'm very excited to share something with you today. Today we will have a little bit of a conversation. Imagine you're sitting down in front of a friend with your cup of coffee or your cup of tea, and we are just having a conversation. Today's topic is quality of life. May sound very strange or may sound very fancy to you, but it's something that concerns our day to day life. What is quality of life? It is a very, very important component of your subjective well being. And what is subjective well being? It is your own sense of satisfaction or your own sense of the quality of your life, as in, are you living the good life or are you living a good life? Now, what is this quality of life? Although psychologists have taken a lot of, trouble and, a lot of time to define quality of life, I will explain it to you very, very simply. It's the amount of satisfaction you experience across various areas of your life. What are these various areas of your life? Okay, you're a student, so do you enjoy whatever you're studying? Do you feel like you have a sense of independence or freedom in your life where you are allowed to make your own decisions? Do you enjoy the company of the people who you have kept around you? What kind of an environment have you created around you? Do you find meaning in your relationships, your friendships, your familial relationships, your intimate relationships? Do you find pleasure in what you do on a day-to-day basis? Are you savoring every single good experience in your life? Also, what about the values in your life? Are you living up to the values that you have? Are you attaining, or are you at least on the path to attain all of the goals that you've set for yourself in your life? Now, this is just the tip of the iceberg, but we will try to break it down and we will try to understand it in terms of practicality. I will try to bring up some common examples where you can enhance your quality of life if you would like to, so please keep watching. So as I've mentioned on this channel before, that my goal is to help you live a better life, a more fulfilling life. So let us try to see how we can improve the quality of life for ourselves by doing some small little things, by taking some small steps every single day or slowly, so that we can feel more satisfied with our life. So that we can feel more content with our life, rather than waking up on days and thinking, oh my God, why do I live this way? I'm so unhappy with myself. Why am I stuck? Why am I not able to go to sleep at night? All of those things, very, very slowly, let's try to deal with them. So the first thing that I think about, and this is very, very relevant since I do teach a lot of adolescents and 20-year-olds and so on. The first thing I want you to understand about quality of life is embracing your true nature and really understanding yourself. I know I have said this repeatedly, time and again. And this is something that's very, very rampant in our culture as well. This is about introversion and extroversion. I know you've been told time and again that you need to talk to people more, you're too shy and your hobbies are not good enough, because you don't mingle with people and all of that. So the talk or the topic of quality of life may suddenly, bring flashing images in front of your eyes where people are cheering and laughing, clinking their glasses and then cheering for each other. Well, that is absolutely wonderful. But then what does introversion and extroversion have anything to do with your quality of life? A lot of people are neither extroverts nor introverts. A lot of people are ambiverts who are sometimes comfortable talking about how they feel and sometimes not very comfortable talking about how they feel. Sometimes like crowds and sometimes don't want to disclose, a lot of personal information to just anybody and everybody. And that doesn't make you, somebody who needs to change. I think a lot of times we are running after, what change we can make to ourselves, to our personality. But I think with quality of life, you really need to understand that, are you being your true authentic self? So I am sort of, if it helps from a psychologist, I'm here to not validate, but then just try to explain to you, how people are different and how for different people, quality of life can mean different things. So for an introvert, or if you prefer, hobbies like maybe journaling and not talking to a lot of people, and if you don't have a lot of friends, this is a very, very common question I get as well. If I don't have a lot of friends, then is my quality of life any good, or am I, good enough? Am I not a nice person? In my opinion, I feel like having a few deep connections is absolutely wonderful. Just having one or two friends, if that is your, mental capacity or social bandwidth, to say, that is completely fine. And I believe that, quality of life can be improved through embracing your true nature. If you're somebody who doesn't like going out a lot, you don't have to force yourself to. Trust me, you will feel much better. If you are somebody who wants to, not rush with things and you want to take things slow, that's completely fine. If you are somebody for whom a good time is just staying home reading a book and not going out clubbing, or dancing, or all of the fun things out there, that's completely fine. Do what makes you happy. Listen to your inner self. Listen to the little voice in your head which asks you to do, what do I say, things that you think you will enjoy more, rather than getting carried away. Another very, very common thing, I think, completely destroys our quality of life, again, with respect to the culture that I have grown up in, I think, is conformity. So conformity is basically just living by other people's opinion. A lot of times I feel that we allow ourselves to get carried away by, teasing, or, taunts, or things that other people say about our choice of career, about our choice of life, about our choice of, what do I say, food, or anything like that. And a lot of times we believe that we must live up to all of these people's expectations. All right. In my opinion, that highly degrades the quality of your life, because you are no longer being you, but somebody who, would be appreciated or accepted by all of these other people. And trust me, that's not really going to enhance um, anything, honestly, in your life. But then, is it going to push you to success, or will you ever end up doing something that you find satisfying? Not really, not in my opinion. Then what is an alternative, though, and how do you deal with all of that criticism that comes your way? What if you're in your 20s and you're unemployed, and a lot of people are shoving their little or older doctor and engineer children in your faces? Then what do you do? I will say again, listen to your inner self and try to understand why you live the life that you live, right? Do you find meaning in what you do? And if you find meaning in what you do, there is no reason to constantly keep justifying yourself, right? As long as you have justified yourself, to your parents, maybe to immediate family, that's completely fine. I think you really need to, or in my opinion, actually, you really need to understand that after all, you have to live your own life. If you really wanted to be a doctor, you'd still be pursuing that. If you still wanted to be an engineer, that's what you'd be pursuing. No harm, or no, nothing against doctors or engineers. It's just a random example. And now the next thing that I want to talk about, in terms of quality of life, is, are we doing the things we want to do every single day? Right? You study. But then, do you really want to study? And if you don't want to study, why don't you want to study? Do you enjoy the work that you do? If you don't enjoy the work that you do, why is it that you don't enjoy the work that you do? I'm not one of those people out here who's going to ask you to simply get up and quit, because this is the big quitting moment. Sorry, not moment. It is a moment for you. But there's been a huge quitting movement. And you know what all of those people go back and do? They quit, and then they go back and they get another job. I really value realism, and I believe that, even optimism and all of those things are great, but then unrealistic optimism isn't great. So what can you do to inculcate passion in what you do? Right, that is my point of view, and that, I think, can drastically improve your quality of life. So what is it that you now, exercise for today is, if you are a student, or if you are somebody who's working, or if you're a homemaker, what is it about these experiences that you enjoy? And what is it about these experiences that you don't enjoy? Right? Now, we must understand that there can be a change in the nature of the experiences you're having. Let us say you really don't like how you're doing household chores from the moment of waking up at 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., right? You can change the way you do those things. You can make it more efficient. If you are dealing with a toxic boss at work, you can change. You can either report your boss, and if that's not possible, then you can try looking for a different job. What I'm asking you is, do you like the nature of your work, or do you like the nature of whatever you study? And if you don't, why don't you? And if you really don't, there's no way you don't know why you don't like it. All I want you to do is ask yourself, is to actually reflect on your choices and understand the purpose behind those choices. Like I have said many, many times, my first job was in the IT sector, and I suppose even my boss knew that I did not enjoy the job. But there were reasons as to why I was, doing the job that I was doing. It gave me financial independence. It enabled me to take my parents out once in a while. It enabled me to spend time with my family. It enabled me to, purchase the things that I had always desired. So there is always a reason. Now, my reason might be very, very simple. Maybe you have a more complicated reason, or maybe you have an even simpler reason. But really understanding the nature or the purpose behind our choices, even though sometimes we may feel like we're stuck and that life is throwing so much at us, but then later you realize that you have made choices. And once you are able to justify the reasons behind these choices to yourself, that is when things get a little easier, because once you understand why you're doing what you're doing, life becomes a lot clearer and life becomes a lot simpler. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk to with all of you about is autonomy. It's freedom. Something that I believe greatly contributes to our sense of well-being and our quality of life. Now, I did talk about at length subjective well-being today, not objective. So we are only trying to talk about things that are in our own control. Now, I want to ask you today, who makes the choices in your life? Something from as small as what to eat today, what to cook today, what to do tomorrow, what to wear today. Who makes all of these choices? From the smallest to the biggest choices, like what career to choose, who to marry. Controversial. All right. What do I say? What job to choose? Where to live? What other things are there? The big decisions in life. Who takes all of these decisions? And do you ever feel like you would like more autonomy in life, or do you often feel like you need to depend on other people because you're a little weak, or others are stronger, others know much better? So studies have proven again and again, and many psychological studies have actually shown that a sense of autonomy greatly affects how content we are with our life. Brings me back to the same old topic again, where our own actions, right? If I feel a sense of freedom, and if I feel a sense of autonomy, and if I feel a sense of independence, then I see all of my actions as my choices, and that is the only way I will understand their outcomes as a consequence of my own actions. All right. There is no way I will be willing to take blame, take responsibility, or even feel a sense of success if I am not making my own decisions. And let us say you don't have the freedom to make the bigger decisions for yourself. You could start with something very, very small, as to decide what to eat, what to wear, and things like that. And then slowly, I believe, that will help you make better decisions. I feel like somewhere I really see a lack of autonomy is where a lot of students reach out and say, what should I study in life? What should be my topic of study? What should be the topic of my PhD? I feel that those are really, really important decisions that you need to make. And therefore, if you do start with the smaller decisions, slowly, you will gain a little bit of confidence. You will also understand what you like, what you don't like. You will also understand your strengths, and therefore you will be in a much better place to make good rational decisions by yourself, and that will greatly improve your quality of life, because you are the one who is affected by those decisions the most. Therefore you should be, or you can make your own decisions, and that will greatly improve the level of contentment you have in life, because your actions result in, what do I say, consequences, and that you are most of the time responsible for, right? And there can be nothing more satisfying than success that comes through your own choices, since accomplishment is an important part of life as well. Now I will keep this video, or I will end it here, and then I hope you liked this video today. Like I said, it's just a conversation that I wanted to have with all of you. Please let me know if this helped you out. Something I do want you to do, as I do want you to understand your strengths and your weaknesses and all of that, but I want you to focus on your strengths. I feel like for well-being, it's really important to have good self-esteem and to respect yourself and to be able to see good things in yourself. Another exercise that I want you to do, I want you to write 5 good things that you like about yourself, or just 5 things that you really like about yourself. I had a great time talking to all of you. I hope you found this useful. Please let me know in the comments below how the video made you feel, and if any of these topics were relevant to you. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time